and welcome to the 2020 VW t-roc R. And right off the bat you have to know that this is not just a t-roc with more power. No, VW plucked the best bits from the previous generation VW Golf R and fitted them to this t-roc R. That means the engine, the brakes, the transmission, the four-wheel drive system, and last but not least, the fantastic Akrapovic titanium exhaust. And just listen to it scream. Okay, so first let's do a quick walk around. This is the 2020 VW t-roc R, and like I've said, this is basically a Golf R on stilts. It has the same engine up front, the same four-wheel drive system, and the same 7-speed DSG transmission. It's finished in the now trademark color for a VW R product, lapis blue, and it also has the looks to go with all that performance. First off, it features more sportier front and rear bumpers. As you can see, there's lots more cooling ducts at the front for the obvious extra cooling the engine needs. Then it has this quite cool LED daytime running lights that also act as indicators. But other than that, from this point upwards, it's basically a standard t-roc. Moving to the side, we have the same 19-inch Pretoria alloys as in the Golf R, and as standard, we get the big 17-inch brakes from the performance package of the Golf R. Moving to the back, there's a sportier rear bumper, like I said, the R logo underneath the left taillight. Then right below the number plate, we have a quite large diffuser and those 4 huge exhaust tips. And not only do they look quite cool, but they also sound pretty amazing because this car is fitted with the optional Akrapovic titanium exhaust system. But yeah, other than that, the car sits 20 millimeters lower than a standard t-roc, and that's basically it for the exterior. I think this is a pretty good looking car. I actually prefer its design to the Golf R, but anyway, that's very subjective, I guess. But now let's jump inside and see what the interior has to offer. The interior is a bit of a letdown for me, except for the Golf R steering wheel and this blue panel over here. It's pretty much standard t-roc on the inside. It doesn't even have sport seats, as these ones are the exact same seats taken from the R-Line package that you can get on the standard car. But that being said, the car is pretty well equipped. It features a digital instrument cluster, a touchscreen navigation system, and a tall-ish driving position, as you would expect from a crossover. So driving the new t-roc R feels, and you might expect me to say this, very similar to the Golf R. It also has 300 horsepower like the Golf R, 400 Newton meters of torque. The acceleration from standstill to 100 kilometers per hour takes 4.8 seconds. And I guess it's safe to say that this is a pretty fast car. Throttle response above 2000 RPM is excellent, and power delivery is linear and relentless all the way up to the red line. This thing is seriously fast, and come to think of it, I think it's maybe too fast for these back roads. I can barely go full throttle on these straights over here. Now I know there's a few people out there that aren't really impressed of what an Akrapovic exhaust sounds like on a 4-cylinder. But still, I think it's a big advantage that you can fit such an exhaust to a car from factory. Firstly, because it makes the car sound so much better. I've recently driven a Golf R with and without the Akrapovic exhaust, and the difference is huge. I mean, this car, you can actually hear the exhaust over the fake noises being pumped through the speakers of this car. That's how loud it is. And the second reason why it's a good thing you can fit an Akrapovic exhaust from factory, it's the fact that you don't lose the warranty on your car when doing that. And let's not forget the costs, because 3,000 euros, the cost of the Akrapovic exhaust for this car, gets you a titanium aftermarket exhaust with factory warranty and properly fitted to your car. This car grips incredibly well. There's obviously a slight tendency to understeer when you enter the corner, but the 4Motion system handles that immediately by sending some power to the back wheels as well. Only 50% of the power can go there, remember, because this is the Haldex based system, but it's still better than nothing. It can't really defy physics, this car, being a small crossover. It leans about in the corner a little bit, but it's not that far off a Golf R, to be honest. I'm a big fan of the steering in this car and the way it's set up. It's really quick to respond to your inputs, and race mode just adds a little bit of weight to it, just so that it doesn't really feel artificial. Of course, the fact that this car has a shorter wheelbase helps with that, but the whole steering setup works really well. So what to make of this new t-roc R? Well, it's a really fun car to drive. I love it. I actually prefer its looks to the Golf R, but because it costs around 39,000 euros, I just can't get over this interior at that price point. And don't get me wrong, at that price point, this car is pretty good value compared to its rivals. I mean, there's too much hard plastic on the inside, especially underneath the steering wheel and on the door panels, and there's very few elements on the inside that tell you that you're driving something a bit more special. Except for the steering wheel and this blue colored trim over here, this is pretty much a standard t-roc interior. I mean, it's definitely worth the money, but I just wish they did something to the interior as well. But that's been it for today's video, my friends. I really hope you've enjoyed it. Please give it a thumbs up if you have, and make sure you're subscribed for plenty more videos to come. And until next time, take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you around.